Cool. We're live. It's Brock here, the Lifetarian, and I'm really pleased to introduce you to a friend of mine, Elizabeth Campbell. And Elizabeth showed up in my life in a beautiful way. She actually got in touch with me in a really elegantly way using social media. And I believe you found me on Instagram and then on Facebook and then invited me out for a juice and a smoothie. And it was great. I loved it. And I'm a guy, I do lots of different things. It's always, it can be challenging to fit different things in, but the way that you contacted me, it was important that I catch up. Yeah?
It's funny, that was years ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's a while ago. And you were coming up to Brisbane, you come up here regularly, and I guess I'm just interested to have a conversation with you. I often talk to everyone about momentum, and essentially I want to have a conversation with you because I know you're an entrepreneur, you're an author, I don't even know what else, all kinds of amazing things, fitness, lots of things going on, you speak at events, so much going on. So I wanted to talk to you today about momentum and pretty much just tell me what's going on in your life right now. What are you up to?
Oh my gosh, my life is so busy, but it's so calm as well, if that makes sense. Like last week I had a massive week. I did workshops, I did a speaking breakfast, I was interviewed on radio, I was in the paper, I was catching up with friends, I did a salsa class, I did hot yoga, but still managed to get my 8 hours sleep, worked on my business, worked in my business, got to different events, caught up with friends, ate well, all of that. I don't know, I've just got this really amazing life and journey going on at the moment, and I'm absolutely in my element. It's fun.
Yeah, I love that, the fun element, right? It brings it all to life. And we're going to go through things first. What are your fundamentals? You just said 8 hours of sleep. What is it that, go through what are your fundamentals for you keeping the momentum up?
Okay, I do need to get at least 7 hours. I find I'm brinking on 6 hours sleep a night. I'm okay. Anything under that, and I find I don't perform very well at all. I meditate daily, and if not daily, it's every second day. I might do something else, like do a salsa class or something like that, or do the hot yoga. I've really got into that, and I love that. That's fantastic. I also find I need to eat well, so I need to have I try not to eat any processed sort of food. It's all just very fruit, veggies, bit of meat. I'm trying to out a vegetarian diet at the moment, just not eating much meat or animal products. Milk, I drink a little bit of milk, and I do love coffee. What else do I do? Exercise every day and twice a day even if it's just a walk over to the parklands or over to South Bank. So I live in Brizzy at the moment, and so I like to walk over by the river, and I think it just really helps my sanity. Yeah. For
sure. So all those fundamentals and daily habits, if you think about yourself 10 years ago, how many of those were you doing? When you just go back 10 years, not that long ago?
Yeah, not that long ago. 10 years ago, I was exercising daily. I probably didn't even know what meditation was. I would have just moved to the Gold Coast. I was partying a lot. I was 25, so I was partying quite a fair bit, which doesn't always help with the psyche, And I was stressed out, I must admit. I was working in the media, and I was stressed, and I wasn't really looking after myself at all. So I was doing daily exercise, and I was going to the gym a lot. So I looked good, but on the inside, I didn't, my mind and my body weren't connecting.
Yeah, sure.
I've learned a lot about myself in the last 10 years, mostly in the last 18 months.
Can you imagine the next 10 years?
Yeah, I can. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
It's exciting. It's so exciting, right?
Yeah, it
having
is.
All these daily. Next thing I want to go through was I just want to jam through as many questions as possible here, just because there's people listening and we want to get it. They just want to get a lot of value out of this, and there's people who are sitting in a job that they hate right now or a business that they hate, and you didn't hate what you were doing when we talked about it, but you knew it wasn't your path anymore. And it was kind of burning you out.
I was so stressed. I worked in the media for 13 years. And I'm still in the media. I'm still editing a magazine. I still freelance, right? But it's different now. I got to a point. I'll tell you the story. I walked in one day and I was stressed. I was living on coffee and air and not much else. Like, I didn't eat well. I was exercising and that was it. I walked in one day to my job, which I did love, but it was burning me out. I got to my desk, put my bag down, made another cup of coffee, probably had 4 already. It's not even like 8 o'clock yet. Got smashed. People just at my desk, like wanting stuff from me already. I hadn't even turned on my computer. And then once I turned on the computer, I got all these emails through and they were just really nitpicky sort of stuff. And I was like, oh my God, this is just doing my head in. And then I got abused by one of the department heads in front of the whole newsroom, and it was embarrassing, and it was something that I didn't have anything to do with. It wasn't my mistake. So I just sat down and went, you know what, this is just not cool anymore. This doesn't work for me. And I got up and I left, and I basically cried my little heart out, like had a meltdown, and I never returned. Like, it was a bit of a Jerry Maguire moment, actually. But I didn't go back. I took all my sick days, which I was sick. I had stress leave. I was brinking on an absolute nervous breakdown, and it wasn't good. And so then I left and I started my business, and that, it's just in itself its own stress, but it's different. If you know everything you're doing is for yourself, if you want to have a morning off to go and do hot yoga or to go and do meditation in a group or whatnot, like some energy healing or whatever to make yourself feel better and get yourself elevated, you can do that. Like, all I wanted when I was in the media was to have a Friday, to work Fridays or one day from home so that I could go and do my grocery shopping. That was it. That's all I wanted. And now I could do that any day of the week. So I just think, you know, it takes a lot of courage and takes a lot of bravery to actually step out and go, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. To take a pay cut or to, you know, do something completely different that's outside of your comfort zone. But I applaud the people that do, and you can have a much nicer, more relaxing, better life.
For sure. So what are 3 key things people can do if people sit in their desk right now before they hit that meltdown point? Say you were speaking to yourself. How many years ago was that?
That was 3 years ago.
So say we're speaking to you 4 years ago, because it's getting towards that point. You were speaking to Elizabeth 4 years ago. What would you say to yourself? I
would say, you can do it. You can do anything that you put your mind to do. You are absolutely enough. You've already got all of the experience that you need to go off and do your own thing. Like, you're going to learn on the job anyway, or when you're in your business. I didn't know about running a business. I've only been in business 2 full years, going into my 3rd year now. I still have so much more to learn. But so I would say, just do it. Just do it and see where you get to. You can always go back and get another job. Like, you know, you don't have to stay in that job that you don't like. I'd say look after yourself internally. So make sure you're eating well, you're having a lot of water, you're getting enough exercise, and you're doing something for your brain. So mental health is really important, because once you lose that, it's quite a long journey to get it back. And the 3rd point I would say is just have confidence within yourself, to know that you can make this change. Change can be really scary, but it can also be really exciting. And if you step outside of what you know and try something new and find exactly like what that passion is, that burning desire is on the inside that you have, you can lead the most beautiful life.
I love it.
That's what I would tell myself. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing all of that right now, and I'm leading the most amazing life.
And I love it. Keep going.
Oh, I was just going to say, it's taken 3 years since I left my full-time job to get to this point. Like, it's not an overnight thing that you can just go, oh, I'm leaving and everything's going to work out tomorrow. It'll work out if you put the hard work and determination in. But it'll take a bit of time. But I knew the minute I left. I knew it. I knew the minute I left, and I was in my business, and it started off the back of an inquiry. You know, all great businesses start with something really small, and I just built it up from there. And it's great. I love it. This year I'm changing it again. So I've done client work stuff. This year I want to focus on more teaching, so workshops and webinars and that that sort of element. I don't know if it's going to go well. I've put some feelers out to see. People seem to be interested in it, so I'll just give it a go. Mm-hmm. If not, I'll just take it back to where it was and start again.
And that's the attitude, right? Like if people look at the people that they consider lucky and successful, generally everyone's failed about 99 times out of 100, but one of them is a home run. Yeah. And it's that thing, like giving ourselves permission to fail is such a big thing. Because what I've seen so many times, I used to see it, you know, people work at Coles and they complain, and then they go and work at Woolworths and complain, and then 5 years later they go back to Coles or maybe Aldi. And we see that in the corporate sector, we see that in different things. So what was it about you that kept you going through those rough times? Because I'm sure there has been, you know, those challenging times after you left your job, cash flows lean, different things.
Oh, yeah.
Like what was that part of you that just kept fighting, that kept saying, you know what, I'm going to do this?
I just knew I never wanted to go back to that point. So when I actually walked out, I just kept walking. Like I walked to a park, I kept walking, I was crying, I was so upset, I could hardly breathe, I felt like I was going to faint, I felt like restricted. And I sat down and I went to get back up after about an hour of this carry on, and my legs wouldn't move. I couldn't tell my brain to tell my legs to get up, to walk back. So like that was scary because I'm like, oh my God, I'm paralyzed. What's going on? You know, but it wasn't. It was just, I was stressed and my brain wasn't working properly. You know, I'd let myself get so bad in that capacity, and I never want to go back there. So I always have that thought. It's not a nice thought, but the meaning behind it is a really nice thought, like where I am now to where I was. I don't want to go back there. I want to stay here as much as I can. I never want to work for somebody else if I don't have to. If it all fails and I have to go back to work, well, then that's what I will do. And then I will work until I get some money, and then I will go back and I will start another business because I know how great it can be. But I've always surrounded myself with people who are like-minded, who can elevate me when I need it, and I will do the same for them. So I've always had mentors, and several. I don't just have one or two. I have at least 5 in different areas of business and life and work and play, so that I can draw bits of inspiration from them. And I did find the one thing I did do when I was super stressed, I would just talk to either my mum or my best friend, and they would be able to just, you know, give me that little bit of boost of confidence when I had all this self-doubt going, I can't do this. Like, you know, what makes me different from the other person down the road? And they would just offer just that, like, one sentence, and that's all you need. And you'll be like, right, I'm good. I can do this. I can get back into it. Like, that's what it is. It's just keeping that bit of motivation, momentum going. And whatever you need, like for me, it was talking to my mum or my best friend, who are both in business themselves. For you, it might be listening to some music or some affirmations, or doing a meditation, or going for a run, or something like that. That's what kept me going.
Awesome. One thing that popped for me then too, as you said that, is the decision to leave our full-time careers and pursue what we love actually puts us in the space for more of those magical moments. Because I've met your mum. I think I've met your mum twice.
Oh, yeah, she's great, isn't she? Yeah, she's amazing.
Once in Cairns and once in Palm Cove. Like, what are the chances that we just keep bumping into each other? But if I hadn't made that decision to take the handbrake off and leave to pursue what I love, the money from business is great. The change we create, all that stuff's amazing, but the people that we connect with and the time we get to spend with those, you know, when we're working so hard and focused on a project, but then all of a sudden someone says, I'm in town, can you catch up for 20 minutes? And you're like, fuck yeah, let's do this. So good.
I know, it's amazing. The people that I have met, like the people I've met in my career anyway, as in the media, have been amazing. I've worked with some beautiful, beautiful people. It's different. Like when I was in the media, I met people they weren't as like-minded, but they were still great, but they were from a broad range of areas. Now that I'm in business and I'm meeting people who are like me, I'm attracting that. So there's not a lot of negativity in my life because I'm not that way inclined, and I don't attract it. I attract amazing positive experiences and people. And I'm like you, I get asked all the time, let's catch up. Like, you know, when are you coming to this place or that place. So I just said to you, I'm coming to Cairns in a couple of, next week for a couple of weeks. Let's catch up for a green smoothie. Like, I'd really like that, you know. We'll shoot the breeze. We'll talk about business. We'll probably come up with some way to work together again. Like, the opportunities are endless, and I love that.
I like it too. I love it. And just being in that zone, you know, when you catch up with people, instead of, if you catch up with someone, you make the time to catch up with someone and they're almost like doubting themselves, insecurities, all that different thing. If people sit there and hang out there, we all have it at times, you know, we go to do a new project and it comes up. But if every time you speak to someone, you're like almost having to push them, it's so tough. But when you bring these two parts together that are inspired, so much magic and momentum always comes out of it. I love it.
And you kind of don't, I find that if someone's having a bit of a down day, you don't even really have to counsel each other through it. It's kind of like if you just hang out with someone who's just a bit higher, like on the vibration level of happiness and joy, like if you're up there anyway and someone's down here, they'll automatically just come up. Same with me. Like if I'm having a bit of a down day, it's like I'll, you know, talk to one of my colleagues or something and they'll mention some, you know, great new thing or an opportunity or just a quote or anything. And you're just like, oh my God, my problems are so nothing. Like just, you know, just give it a go. Don't let self-doubt get in the way. You know, don't stay down there for too long. That's one thing I have. I find if I stay down, if I'm feeling down, which I do, I feel like I'm human. I mean, I'll put on a positive front because that's what I want to attract. But every now and then I do get, well, weekly, I would say weekly, I get down and I'll just think, okay, I'm just going to be down for a minute and figure out like why I'm feeling like this. And then I'm getting out of here. I'm going back up here because when I'm down, I don't make money. When I'm up, I make money. So I don't want to stay down because my thoughts get way too, like I get way too caught up in my head and I just think, nah. Get out of it, get out now, listen to some music, go for a run, do a meditation, listen to some positive affirmations like The Power or The Secret, or there's plenty of them. Christy Sheldon is one that I like. Or just ring mum, ring my bestie. Yeah. Do an interview with Rock Life Tarian.
Yeah, just get you in the zone, right? My feet are, I'm standing up for this interview and my feet start wiggling, all that sort of stuff. And the more that we all just do this, we change the world one person at a time. That's my belief. And then the more of us just keep lighting up and just getting into that momentum and that consciousness and kindness and caring, the whole world just becomes it. And the same way we just said, you know, when you catch up with two people, if all of a sudden everyone's bringing everyone higher, then everyone else on the planet has to. Just lifts everyone up.
Yeah,
cool.
Absolutely. Imagine how much nicer the world would be to live in if we were all like just elevated just that little bit higher. And we all practice kindness every day, like just one random act of kindness, or pick up a piece of litter. Like, you know, we all have to live in this world for a lot longer than we think we are. So let's look after it. That's my point. I like that. What are you going to say? No, you're right. You go.
Oh, I was just cutting you off. You know that longness of life? A lot of people go, life short. You have to really jam it all in. But it's long. We've all got up, 90 or 100 years of life. We got heaps.
We've got heaps of time. Yeah. I like to pack things into my day. Definitely. I'm an extrovert, so I get my energy from people. So I don't like to be on my own. Well, I'm very good with being on my own, but I get tired, man. Like if I spend too much time by myself, I get really tired. So my weekend, basically, I was out for all weekend except for probably about 4 hours where I painted a bookshelf, DIY. Yep. It's relaxing, painting. And that was it. Like my weekend, I jam-pack stuff into my life. I really enjoy doing that. But at the same time, we've got so much life to live. Like there's so much time to be doing everything that you want to do. But if you're not happy right now, you should look to make a change right now, this second. If you're even sitting at your desk or you're in your car or whatnot, wherever you are and you're listening, do that one thing that you really want to do. Do one thing that will help you get there today. That's my advice.
I like it. And that one person that's listening right now, it's powerful for them. It really is, just stepping up. Like, even if you look at this, we're sitting here making a video for YouTube, and there's no one that gave us permission to do this. We're just choosing to do this because we feel inspired to do it. A lot of people are like, I can't write it because you've written several books. How did you decide that you're an author? Who told you could be? You'd obviously written in the media before, but writing a book is often a big deal for people. How did you set the handbrake?
Yeah, I was very lucky. I've got a writing coach, and I was in a business group and with like-minded people. And so I had always wanted to write a book though. And in the last 3 years, I've written one and co-wrote two, and I've ghostwritten a few, but we're not allowed to talk about that. But yeah, but it's a big deal. It takes a long time, and it's very different from writing a story in the media or a blog post. But I always wanted to do it. And I just thought, if I don't do this now, when am I going to do it? When? Like in 5 years' time, I may not have that inclination anymore or that burning desire to do it. And then I don't want to look back and go, damn, I could have written a book about that, and now someone else has done it, or, So I'm actually starting my next book this year. It'll be another business book targeted to women. So yeah, men will be able to read it too, but it'll be fun, really fun. And it'll have a lot of information in there about how to go through a stressful situation and keep your business, because we know that like the top 3 most stressful situations in your life are leaving your full-time job or being made redundant, or losing your job, being fired, the terminal illness of a family member, or the death of a family member. Divorce is a big one. So I want to be able to show people that you can go through these changes, these big life-changing moments, and start a business or keep a business, and actually make a success of it. That's my plan. That's what I want to show.
Yeah, I like that. Because your last one, you'd done it about relationship and where you were coming from, and really speaking from where the truth of where you are. I think people resonate with that authenticity for sure.
Yeah, I think so. No, you go.
I just like it. Like, if not now, when will I do it? If I don't do this now, when will I do it? That is such a powerful question. I'm gonna add that to my thing.
Yeah, but it's true though. Like, and I wanted to write this book a year ago, but I probably wasn't in the right headspace to do it. So now is the perfect time. I also believe that everything happens when it's supposed to. So I'm supposed to do it this year. I know that. Because now I've got a year's extra experience in that time. Like, now it's 3 years since I left my full-time job and went through that. It's 2 years since I started the business and went through that. And I've also had a relationship breakdown in the last 18 months. So I've gone through that. So I've got 3 of the top 5 things that are the most stressful things you can ever go through in your life right then and there. So, I just, if you're feeling just that little burning desire inside that there's something that you want to do, even if it's actually just changing jobs, like maybe you do work at Coles and it's been great for you for the moment, and now there's something else that you want to do, even if it is just changing over to Woolworths, that's okay. Like, it's your life. You can make it however you want it to be. If it's starting a business, great. If it's leaving a relationship or just looking at a relationship, not even a marriage, but it could just be a friendship, I just say get rid of anything negative that's in your life and just start to lead the best life you can. And just do one little thing a day, one little thing. It might just be to send that resume off. You don't know if you're going to get the job. You may or may not. You may get it. What's to say that you won't?
That's it. He who dares. She who dares. And that thing, if you dare to go for it, can really change and impact your life powerfully. It's incredible, right?
Yeah, it really is.
What I want to go through next question, I want to hit you up with what you do to start your day powerfully.
Okay. Except for this morning, get up at 5. I felt like my body needed a bit of a rest after such a big weekend of socialising. So I give it that, I don't push myself anymore like I used to.
Yeah.
I get up at 5, 4:45 actually, and I do a 15-minute meditation, a Christy Sheldon one. It's a one
I
about
love
love. Yeah. Yeah. She's fantastic, isn't she? It's a love
I'm going to
one.
interview her soon.
Oh, fabulous. I can't wait to see that. That'll be amazing. She's great. So I do that. Then I get up and I spend 2 hours doing my own creative writing. So I'm writing an online course, writing a book, my blog posts, doing social media. I do my best work in the morning. So I put my writing hat on and do that. So I've got a full schedule, I can tell you. 7 till 8, I go for a run, a ride, a class, a walk, anything. I do some exercise, I get moving. 8 till 9, I'll have a nourishing breakfast, and I'll get ready. And then 9 o'clock, I start my day. I've even penciled in on Mondays, it's a Liz business day. On Tuesdays, it's a client writing day. On Wednesdays, it's a client meeting day. Thursdays, client writing. Fridays, wrap up the week, making client changes, that sort of thing. I also then have a lunch break. So I actually pencil in a lunch break now because, you know, when you're working on your own business, you just sit there and work, like you'll forget. The time will go because you'll be busy and you'll be loving it. So I now actually have to tell my calendar to tell me to take a break. So I do that and I'll go outside, get some fresh air. Friday, 5 o'clock comes, 5:30, I knock off and it's Liz time. And it's actually in my calendar as Liz time, you know, and I'll go and do a dancing class. I'll go and catch up with a friend. I'll go and I'll do some more exercise that afternoon, even if it is just a walk over to the gardens or whatnot. I'll go, we've got a community garden just out the back here, so I'll go and pick some lovely fresh herbs. And yeah, that's how it works. And I've found that when I don't stick to that, I'm not as productive. I don't get as much done and I don't feel good within myself. I've tried to not have a routine and it just doesn't work for me. I'm not sure if that's a universal people thing that we all need a routine. I know kids need routines, but as adults, I think it's still highly important. Even if you are living a gypsy life and you're traveling all over the place, you'd be the same, wouldn't you? Like you've just been traveling, but you would still have a morning routine that you get up and do even if you're away.
Yeah, definitely. This morning got up at 4:45 as well. Actually had a client at 5 because she's in New Zealand. And we went through her morning routine, but I'd already done my 15 minutes and I did more after that. And yeah, you just get up and do powerful things. I like to do energy work like Qigong. And I like to get up and move and breathe and drink high quality water and really journal what I'd love to do. I get down and get clear on some of my thoughts and articulate appreciation. And I'll even do things where I'll go to my future self and I'll bring that energy back into now.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to just start becoming the person you'd like to be and then your thoughts change rather than try and change your thoughts.
So true. So true. Can I just add on that? So I do write in my gratitude journal every night before I go to bed, and it's so cute. Like I read back over it the other night and I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful for, people are grateful for weird things, like not weird to them, but you know, one day, oh no, it must have been a big day. I was really grateful to have a bed because there are so many people that don't have a bed or have shelter. You know, I'm grateful to speak to my sisters on the phone. I'm grateful that we've got technology that allows me to talk to them and get photos of my nephew. But also, when I was really, really stressed in the last 18 months, I started tapping EFT. Do you know of it? Yeah, it's so cool, hey? I know, it's the best. And I've had energy healings as well, but tapping, I just find she's a lady up there, Sue. Do you know of her? Sue, what's her last name? Just can't think. Sue tapping. If you look it up, she does it on Skype. So I just did a session with her last week. She's up there. I'm in Brisbane. We did a counselling session and then we do tapping. We do lots of visualization. I go to bed like thinking about how I want my life to be or how I want my next relationship to be or how I want my speaking to go and where I want to be. And like one visualization I've got is like I'm standing on a stage in front of like thousands of people speaking, motivating people. Like, it hasn't happened yet, but it will, because your brain doesn't know the difference between is it real or is it not real. If you're thinking it, it's real. So, yeah, tapping is cool. Tapping is really cool.
I love it. Yeah, we do some tapping together when we catch up. I like to say, do it till you see it. You know, people used to say, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I always talk about being it till you see it.
Yes.
So we can already right now, we can start to be the energy of a world-class speaker. We can be the energy of a world-class author, whatever we like to be. One of my friends I caught up with in Brisbane, you'd love as well, she just said she was a Hay House published author. And now the deal's done.
Oh, yeah, right. That's amazing. Yeah.
Why not? Just speak it. And if we're coming from that place of alignment, from being, it just has to happen. That's how we bump into each other all the time. That's how we're able to do these things. That's when we do run out of money, more just shows up. Like all of a sudden we just get realigned, and all of a sudden there's money, there's resources, there's time, there's everything is infinite. There's so much. It's
so true. So I was working with Sue. I've been working with her mostly on self-love and my next relationships, or my past relationships, and how I've got to this point in my life. But last week we did money block. So I said to her, I don't know, I've just got this weird thing with money, like, and I want to open the doors just to let it flow through, and just to have, just, you know, when I need it, it'll be there. And when I've got it, I don't spend it or I don't overspend, you know. I just want to have a good relationship with it, and abundance in general of things. And lo and behold, after I've done that, I've picked up a new client, ideal client. So I love to work with people in the fashion and beauty industry. Fashion client. She's a stylist and has a shop, and we're going to work together to do her website, blog, and social. Like, amazing.
Awesome.
I had a couple of clients that we weren't aligning with anymore. Like, it wasn't working for me and it wasn't working for them, and we're on great terms, but we've decided to part ways. And that was a big hit to my business. It was like a good 50% of the work of my business, 40 to 50%. And I was like freaking out, thinking, oh my God, I've got to keep these people, you know, but it wasn't working. So why keep doing something that's not working? So we ended it. And then lo and behold, the next week I get another major client in. Perfect, like ideal, great. Like, we both fit each other. We both get it, you know, like, and there's that chunk of money that I was freaking out about when I've ended these relationships. And now here it is again, just in a different form. So, you know, and then also the whole, I want to do workshops and stuff this year. Well, it's just another form of income. It's just that now I have time to be able to work on those things. Like, you know, all these opportunities just come up when you let them.
Why don't we just release those little roadblocks? And energy works so powerful. I had one client I worked with a while ago, and she just kept hitting this. She's a really good real estate agent. And then after we did 2 sessions together, she sold 28 properties in a month.
Holy moly. Yeah.
So everyone thinks all this spiritual stuff we're into and consciousness stuff we're into is freaking woo-woo, but you're experiencing, I'm experiencing, this is pragmatic, this is practical. You feel better in terms of your internal alchemy and perspective, and happiness and joy, and that radiates out, and you just receive more. Well, that's awesome.
That's all it is. That's all it is. I know people, and sometimes I choose who I speak to about this sort of stuff too, because people that are unconventional, that don't really understand it, will criticize it, but I know that it works. And the people that I know who do it, and all it is a matter of thinking what you want, like, and being how you want to be. And that's it. Like you said, what did you say? See it till you be it. Do it till you
see it.
See it till you see it. Yeah, that's great. That's nicer than fake it till you make it.
And what would you love your life to be like? Because I had it years ago. I used to be in the personal development realms, and I stood on stage with some of the big guys, and I stood on there, and when I stood opposite them and felt their heart, I was like, this guy's faking it. And he started off faking it here, and now he's still faking it here. What the fuck? I don't want to be around this world. And I blew it up, and I said no to opportunities that would give me $200,000 and $300,000 just to do it. And I'm like, fuck that, while I had no money. And that same energy is why I get to live the way I do now. And the same energy is the reason you get to live the way you do now, because you say no to this fluff. And then you're not tempted anymore by the carrots that people put in front of you. You're like, that doesn't resonate with me. Even though it is interesting at times. But you know this is your path and you're going to follow it.
The carrots don't ever work. I got tempted by carrots. And you get tempted. And if you take them, which I've done, biggest mistake I've ever made. But, you know, I've learnt that lesson now. I'm never doing it again. Like, it's there, you can see it, and you get dollar signs in your eyes. But if it doesn't align, and if the person doesn't have the same set of values as you do, or they're not as like-minded as what you are, or they don't have the same ethos or ethics, like, you can't turn a blind eye to that, because on the outside you might be like, oh yeah, it's all good, but on the inside it's not, and it's incongruent, and you have this massive war with yourself on the inside to the outside, and it's stressful, and it never works. It never works out. You might think it's working out because they're paying you or whatnot, but you'll be going against something that you believe in, or you'll be doing way more work than what you're getting paid for, or they'll, you know, expect that you become their employee, or it doesn't work.
I like that, because a lot of people watching this, they're thinking like, right now I make $2,000 a week, $3,000 a week. How am I going to do that in business? It might take you a little while. But if you know that's what you got to do, somehow know that if you're in the choice of what you love, money expands, time expands, space expands, everything changes in that infinite possibility when we be guided by that. We've all had experiences of things, you know, at that last minute, all of a sudden something's there. We've got to put that deal through and everything falls apart. And it's there. Even this phone call, this call we're doing today, we had some technical hiccups. This is the third time we've attempted to do this. But we didn't stop. We didn't go, oh, no, it's not meant to be, man. You know how people say that? When they hit a few little roadblocks, it's not meant to be. I'm just going to go the easy way. I think sometimes it's the path of most resistance that's given us the most growth.
The easy way is always the hardest way, I reckon. There'll always be something. You'll think it's easy, and then bang, something will happen and it's not easy anymore. I reckon if you take the hard path and you learn these lessons, the next part of the journey will be much easier, because you've already done the hard yards. You already know what to expect. And it won't be like that all the time, because the next part of the journey you'll be learning something new too, and you'll be making mistakes, and it's just all part of life, you know. Kids do this stuff all the time. They get up and they fall over and they cry and they get back up again. And we sort of get conditioned to, we fall over and we sort of go, oh, well, I'm down. I'll just stay down because it's easier to be down here than it is to get up and go again. Or, you know, people are expecting something of me and I can't give it, or, you know, I'm embarrassed, so I'm not going to do it again, or I feel like a failure and, you know, so I'm not going to try that again. But as you said, all the big time business people have all failed. Like millionaires and billionaires, they lose their money several times before they become millionaires and billionaires, you know?
I love it. I love Elon Musk. I love
Elon
Musk, billionaire. Yeah. I'm going to chat to him at some point. That's already in the Jedi mind. It's happening.
Yeah.
And
it'll happen.
A friend of mine interviewed him and Richard Branson, and she said it was really inspiring to hear how he had $150 million cash, and he put it all in SpaceX and Tesla, and he even had to borrow money for rent, had to borrow money for his business. Now he doesn't even care how much he's worth, but he's probably worth like $13 or $15 billion. Everyone else is talking about it. He's just living the dream. He's just creating inspiration and what's coming. It was a different question to how you'd framed it, but every day he asked a question, and it would be very similar to, you know, if not now, when am I going to do it? If I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? And he's literally asking, what's the greatest contribution I can be to the planet? And whatever he gets inspiration about, that's what he's doing. Interesting, huh?
That's a great question. Yeah.
What would I love my life to be like, and what's the greatest? Yep.
Oh, I ask myself questions all the time, like even how am I feeling today? Like, what is that little bit of anxiety that's happening in my stomach right now? What is that about? Oh, I shouldn't buy a new car? Okay, fine, I won't then. You know, there's just, if you're feeling down or you're having self-doubt or whatever, and you're like, why am I feeling like that? Is it just because of my ego, or is there actually something legitimate there that I shouldn't be doing this, or it doesn't sit well with me, or Yeah. It's really important to ask yourself questions. A lot of questions.
Heaps. All of them. Every day. Have a chat. I wake up in the
Yeah.
morning. I'll show you my one. I wake up in the morning and go, good morning, body. How did you sleep? You looking good? Like, true story. This is how I relate to my body. Thank you so much for being there when I go to sleep. Thank you so much for being here when I wake up. Thanks for being my oldest and best friend. Thanks for being there in the business, in the hard times, the good times, when I go and work out, all the different things. I appreciate you. And the more I check in with my body that way, I can do things I couldn't do with my body before, because my body's in alignment with me, the being, and it just becomes that more and more. And then I tune in instead of that. Anxiety is actually just awareness, like you just described.
Yeah.
It really
and
is.
It's either like, you can either take your anxiety as a fear or as an excitement, like it's to be scared or as to be excited about something. It's actually, I've read, it's the same feeling, to be excited and scared. Like when you, however it comes for you, it comes into my stomach for me. Like I get waves of like butterflies on steroids. It's not like this little bit of, you know, it makes me feel sick, you know. But I also do the same thing. I've got, people talk to me about funny stuff. Like I get, we have, my friends and I and women and I have these conversations about our bodies, right? And I'm just like, I'm happy with my body. It's taken me a really long time to get there, to be at peace with it. As a woman, we have so many hang-ups. But, you know, like one of my friends the other day said, oh, you know, I've got to do something about the cellulite on my back of my legs or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? You should just start saying that you're really grateful for your legs, because they let you walk around and they let you go for a run and they let you see different places in the world, and they let you ride your bike, and they let you drive a car so that you can go and get food to nourish your body. And like when you start thinking about it from a different point of view, you don't really, the cellulite on the backs of your legs really means nothing. Like, and everyone, or most 99% of people, men included, will have it. So, you know, why worry about it?
Doesn't matter. But it literally doesn't matter. But if we keep judging our bodies store more fat. If we judge our bodies, we do it, we get more wrinkles, we get all these things. We're actually kind to our body actually becomes different. This is the thing. We need to stop judging ourselves.
Well, and, you know, I actually thank my arms every day. See this stuff. If I wasn't having this conversation with you, I'd just be like, weird. I thank my arms because they let me write, and writing is my biggest passion. I've loved it ever since I was little. I wrote my first book when I was 4 about a runaway $1 coin. I must have lost $1, you know, like, and was devastated about it. But I was published journo at 14. I've had a career, a colourful, beautiful career in the media and now in my business, and all because of my arms. Like when I wasn't looking after them, I got RSI twice in both arms. Like I was not allowed to do any writing for a month. And when I did come back, I was in a job, so it luckily didn't affect my business. But when I came back, I was allowed to do 1 minute of typing an hour. That was the worst. Like, you know, and then you had to build up. So now I thank my arms every day. Thank you, arms. You're the best. You let me do my job, and I love it. I love writing. If I couldn't write, I would die. And
that is the goal that people got to hear in the world. I stood on stage and I jumped up on stage in Cairns on a skateboard. I went up and down a boardroom on a skateboard. I jumped up off stage, and I did that where I got all the women to get up and start connecting with their bodies. And the energy in that room, you could hear a pin drop, because everyone was so connected with their bodies, which most people are not. They're in their head most of their time. We want to get people in that slipperiness of the mind, in the creative space. All of a sudden, when we're in our bodies, when we go for a walk, we move our bodies, when we tap, when we do energy work, when we, all these different things, when we make love, when we dance, when we do all these creative things, spend time in nature, pat a dog, spend time with babies. This brings out the genius in us. We're getting to the end of the call, though. I'm going to hit you with some more questions. The last couple of things. 3 key things to build momentum. You've built a phenomenal career. People seeing you do amazing things. And you're still on the path. We're all students. So, so powerful. I like that, you know, like we're just here to learn. And what are the 3 things that you're you just say to someone right now that wants to build momentum in their career, women, men, whoever you want to speak to, humans?
Yep. I would say believe in yourself. You can do it. Look after your mental health. It's really important. Like your mental health is more important than your physical health because your brain basically dictates what you do. So make sure you've got like a really strong mental health and get some people around you who are like-minded. Get a mentor, like get somebody that can lift you up when you need lifting up, and be very particular about those people and who they are, because you don't want somebody to be pushing their thoughts and opinions on you. You just want somebody there to help you, to guide you, you know, and you want it to be positive all the time. First and foremost, you want to, you know, even I'm a mentor to people now. I didn't even realize that I inspire people, but apparently I do. And I'm like, I don't really get that because I'm just trying to live my life and get through it and, you know, do what I love and all of that. And it was funny, someone told me the other day that I inspired them to get a new job. And I was like, that's awesome. Did I really do that? So, you know, when somebody's ringing me and they're a little bit down, I don't go down. I'm like, okay, cool. I've got a few minutes and I'm going to bring you up and then we're going to be on the same level. So you want to surround yourself with people that can do that. Just a couple that you know you can ring or you can catch up with, or, you know, you don't want to suck them dry either. It's not like that. It's just that when you do have those people around you, you know that you can get back to being elevated really quickly if you can't do it yourself. And I've found that there are things that I can do myself that'll pull me up. And if I can't, then I'll ring my mum or my bestie, basically.
Perfect. And they would love it too, because you're there for them at the same time, and then you all lift one another up. And sometimes even just picking up the phone, I found, as soon as I pick up the phone and call someone, I'm buzzed.
Yeah.
It's almost that thing. If I'm doubting myself in business, I pick up the phone and call someone. If I'm having a challenge, I just take action. In that action, all of a sudden I'm in momentum again, and then those things, they're gone. Just when we sit there and we sit there like, can I do this? What's going on? And what's going on? When we just get so heady, but when we just stay on the vision, on the path, and we know that there's tens of thousands, if not millions of lives right now that are waiting for us to step up. That's how I think about it. You know, when we write that book, all the people that are going to read it, when we do these interviews, we step up, we're 100% into it, 1,000%. You know, people, one person watching this will impact their life. And it's powerful. If
that's it, if there's only one person, then that's fantastic. Like,
celebrate.
I'm sure there'll be more. But if there's just one that has listened to it and has gone, okay, cool, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to send that email. I'm going to make that call. I'm going to start doing that meditation every day. I'm going to take 5 minutes for myself just to sit and be. Or I'm going to take half an hour and go for a walk every day. You know? It'll make a world of difference.
And I just like that perspective of celebrating. You know, if I turn up at my workshop and it's just me, well, that's awesome. And then I'm hungry. I'm still hungry to fill the workshop up, but then I don't get disappointed. So I'm in that energy all the time. I'm like, life's amazing. Then I don't have to make anything outside of myself depending on my happiness or my experience of life. I don't tend to be that more people come.
Yeah, it's true. I think like we actually need to put ourselves first a lot more than what we do. And not in a selfish sort of a way, and not in a neglectful sort of a way if you've got children or relationships or whatever else, but just actually for yourself, just giving yourself a little bit of time or a little bit of leeway, or, you know, not putting so much pressure on yourself, or just taking a few moments just to go, thank you, arms, you're the best, you let me ride. Or, you know, I'm just going to go and make a green smoothie, and I'm just going to sit outside for a minute, put my feet in the on the grass and just feel it, like, you know, and start to really connect with yourself. Oh, wow, things will happen that you've never even thought were possible.
I like that. The grass, the sunshine, they're the luxuries, you know. Yeah. If I look at my last 5-10 years and I went, cool, someone's going to give me $1 billion to swap them over, I wouldn't do it. And it's fun to be in that space where I'm like, cool, fuck the money. I'm having the money. But fuck the carrots, the stories, everything else is taking me off my path. This is where I'm going. This is what I love. This is the area I love to build momentum in. And then to have friends like yourself that are doing the same thing, then we all lift one another up, and then the world changes. I'm so inspired to have you on the call today. I'm just going to finish up because I know you had to be going and back into another thing soon. Where can we find you? You and I could talk for 8 hours together. I'm pumped.
Oh God, I know.
Where
you
can
can
people
find
you?
me. Well, because I'm in online content writing, if you just Google my name, Elizabeth Campbell, I come up on the first page of Google now.
Awesome.
I'm actually position 1. I've overtaken an opera singer and I've overtaken an actress, I think.
Well done.
Just little old me. And my business is ecwritingservices.com, and there you'll find heaps of cool info on how to actually write online content for small businesses and bloggers.
I'll put all that below in the comments on the YouTube. We're going to upload this soon. I'm looking forward to catching up with you soon.
I'll see you next week sometime.
Awesome. Pumped. I'll make sure I have a time. I'm launching my new program, M55, next week, but I'll make it happen. We'll just make it happen. Too easy.
Yeah, sounds good. I want to learn some more about what you do as well.
Oh, for sure. I'm actually starting to tell people a bit about what I do. I haven't really known for the last 3 years. I wanted to go so far out the box, out of the spectrum of what I thought reality was. And now I'm actually going, cool, I know that magic and alchemy is real. I know it is. I feel it. I'm just precise in that. And now I'm like, well, how can I share these things in a different way so we all can tune in such a way and experience that? And life's amazing. And
that's actually just a good point that you mentioned there too, just to finish up, is that, it's taken you 3 years to find what you want to do, or essentially like your passion or what you're good at, or how to bring it all together, like all your experience and whatnot. I was very lucky in the sense that I think I just was born to be a writer, and that's what I have always done. But it can take time to, if you're in a job that you don't like, or a relationship or whatnot, and you want to make a change, you don't have to make it overnight. You can just make little changes to get to that point. And like you, it's taken you 3 years to figure out exactly what it is that you do. But now that you know, you'll just go full steam ahead.
Pumped. I just wanted to connect to this. And I wanted to know that I could have success in all these different areas. Over the last 3 years, I had plenty of success. I was speaking, I was promoting, I was doing all these different things. It was all there, it was all momentum. But I wanted to go, well, let's just slow it down. Let's just bring it back and go, cool, I'm going to do this right now. And if that changes, I'll change. And just keep knowing that change is always available, and just stay aligned, stay connected, stay focused in the scrumptiousness and deliciousness and enchantment of life. That's what I love. It's cool.
Perfect. And change doesn't have to be scary.
No, it's fun.
Exciting.
It's exciting. It's inspiring. It's awesome. Life's amazing.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being on the call. I'll see you real soon. I'm glad we got this done.
Yes.
See ya.
Thanks so much. See you later.
You're welcome. Bye.